two before the one. Wisdom is water, I'm the daughter of the cannon fodder. Applied knowledge and insight, a born scholar. Look like a martyr to marauders like Tartar. Wise owl slaughter, whack MCs order applauder. Original woman, decipher the womb. Crown of creation, fruit of the planet, earth and the moon.
Peace. Welcome to another episode of Wise the Dome. Today, man, I got my brother, very special guest, man. Great MC, extremely consistent in dropping dope projects. And we're here to talk about the latest one, among other things. But you know what I'm saying? You know who he is. Rakim Al Jabbaar, man. I appreciate you for coming through, G.
Peace, God. Appreciate you having me.
No doubt, man. You already know how we do, man. But first, let's start, man. The intro, right? The Libations intro, beautiful, man. Shit, like sets it off. You know what I'm saying? Some may not understand what that is. If you can, what's that intro about?
It's a Yoruba prayer. The beginning of it is a cool and calm energy. I'm giving praise, to the ancestors, to the Orishas. And then I gave praise to the people who created music that I lean on spiritually for assistance with my musical endeavors. You know what I'm saying?
Indeed, man. If you can talk about some of those people that you mentioned, you know what I'm saying, and just to kind of give everybody who hasn't heard the album yet, like who are some of your inspirations musically, you know what I'm saying?
Of course, B.I.G., Biggie Smalls, you know what I'm saying? Tupac Shakur, Bob Marley, Hendrix, Miles Davis, Prince, who I forget? Nipsey Hussle. I call him Uncle Chad or Chad Butler, but that would be Pimp C.
Most definitely.
I feel like I still left somebody out. I always do that. But that's basically.
I mean, that's well-rounded shit, man. How, growing up, were you, as far as like the music that you listened to, were you like well-rounded as far as like the music and the different genres and different coasts that you rocked with?
Oh, no, for sure, because before my father's death, which I was 12, I really didn't even listen to rap like that. My mama didn't listen to rap. You know what I'm saying? She was an R&B lady, and my granny really liked pop music. My mama listened to R&B and soul. My granny liked pop music. Them the two people, the elders in the house. You know, so in hindsight, I could tell. I think when my father passed, my mama started buying me albums every year for Christmas. It's to like connect with me through the music.
Right.
She knew where my mind was going, so I ain't even really start getting into hip hop until like 6th grade, and that's really just like surface level shit. That's when I started paying attention to what was on the radio.
Right.
And what was on damn, I'm from Dallas. What was coming on Flavor TV, which like this Channel 21, hip hop videos every Saturday night from like 11 to 12. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yes. That's really all I had from that shit, and then the older I got, I always say, shout out my homie Bull, he bought me Reasonable Doubt, Illmatic, and Riding Dirty on my 16th birthday. You know? That kind of started my
classics.
Right. I started my deep dive into hip hop music. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Sure.
That's dope, man. This album is very introspective. You combine like elite lyricism with, again, allowing people inside your world. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
What was the thought process in making the project? Is that something that you intentionally wanted to do?
Yeah, around the time when I started creating Ill Dallas, I told myself that I was just gonna set myself free removed the box that I realized I had placed myself in, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I gave myself the artistic freedom to, speak on whatever emotion I felt,
Right.
any experiences I had in my past that I might have shied away from speaking on or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's things I said on the album that when we played it at the listening party for people, for the public the first time, like I was cringing sometimes, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I couldn't believe I said.
Right, right.
But I allowed myself to be free, and I've intentionally been on a mission to showcase my versatility because other people try to box me in. It's just like, the rappity rap lyrical miracle guy.
Yeah, yeah.
I know I'm far more complex than that.
Right. Yeah. If you can speak on that a little bit about, people attempting to box you in, just because you are a great lyricist.
I think it's the easiest way to try to take points away from me. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Like he's
What
one-dimensional type shit.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
great at, but that's all he can do. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
The easiest way to downplay it, and then too, sometimes some people feel like that's all you should be if that's what you do, right?
Mm-hmm.
But human beings, we're far more complex than that. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
We all love to party, we all love to dance, we
Mm-hmm.
all love the type of vibe that we get when we alone with a woman. You know what I'm saying? And it's music for all of these experiences in life. So if I just express my true self, then you're gonna get a wide variety
Right.
of sounds and flavors because I'm just being honest.
Right. And I think for me, that's one of the reasons why I love your music, because sometimes, an artist will have one pocket that they stay in album after album after album, and it begins to sound the same. You know what I mean? And
Right.
that versatility is what allows, the music to stay fresh, in my opinion.
For sure. Thank you.
No doubt, man. With it being an introspective album, you mentioned your father a lot on the album, who was a Dallas legend.
So
What does his legacy mean to you? And because to you it's your father, right? But to others, he's hip hop pioneer. You know what I'm saying?
it gave me a sense of pride.
Mm-hmm.
It's really a blessing, man. Here a lot of people when I first came out would ask me, "Do I feel the pressure of it?" To me, it sounds crazy. Like,
Right.
it's a blessing to essentially be a legacy act. You know what I'm saying? I'm a hip hop baby as far as hip hop art go. And
Right.
like we could, if you check my lineage, right, we could argue. We have to go to the records to see if bass music actually comes from Miami or does it come from Dallas?
Right. Munchies for your bass.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Who
Mm-hmm.
who put that out? Who put that out first? Who created that first? Because we talk about the mid '80s, and
Mm-hmm.
they records and selling them out the trunk, which is how they even got the deal. You talking
Mm-hmm.
about 20,000 vinyl sold out the trunk in
Mm-hmm.
1985, 86. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying?
Right.
It's a different game. So to me, it's a blessing and an honor to have some shoes to fill and a legacy to carry forward. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, most definitely, man. Yeah, most definitely. And the kind of, we were talking about versatility. Um, Dallas a lot has been known for, like, in the early 2000s, a lot of dance and party records, and now it's kind of like trap music. Um, as somebody who can do those things but does more things, right, and has um great lyrical ability, like, how do you navigate being somewhat outside of the norm from what the city is known for?
Man, that's a great question. It's to me, it's about what you focus on.
Mm-hmm.
And if I was focused on getting love and attention from the club scene and from the Dallas bloggers, I probably would be going crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I go where I'm loved and I'm celebrated. I know I get way more love for the most part outside of the city. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? My skill set. But it's pockets in the city they love what I do. And I had this conversation with people all the time because somebody like Freddie Gibbs, Benny the Butcher, Conway the Machine, Larry June, Currency, you know what I'm saying? When these MCs come to the city, they souls be sold out.
Mm-hmm.
Not flying or driving from somewhere else.
Right.
But be sold out. Action
Right.
Bronx, you know what I'm saying, doing 4,000 people at the Bomb Factory. Like, those people are in this city and they love that type of music.
Mm-hmm.
It's just my job and anybody else that's also in that lane or similar to market yourself to that audience, to make sure that your marketing is geared to find those people, and they're gonna you have to offer too. If you focused on the noise and the maybe popularity contest or whatever, then you could get distracted or discouraged. But to me, that shit don't matter. Hard ticket sales and still physical sales, whether it's a CD or a vinyl, was what matter most to me.
No doubt, man. And that kind of makes me think though, we do have a lot of bloggers and podcasters who, especially when it comes to the South, they only interview one kind of artist. You know what I'm saying? They only interview that trap artist, right? And the lyricists could have more of a buzz or whatever, but they only interview one type of artist. Like, what are your thoughts on that? Because I feel like you mentioned, right? I feel like they're doing a disservice because like whether it's Benny the Butcher or Rakim or like the Rakim from New York, whether it's Benny the Butcher, because I saw him perform in Dallas and I saw you open up for him in Dallas, right? But all of these lyricists come down and do these sold out shows or have really great crowds, which, like you said, goes to show that just because we are in the Deep South, it doesn't mean that we necessarily want to hear only one type of music. Like, we appreciate, all the expressions of hip hop, whether it's trap or whether it's lyrical hip hop, right? But
Yeah.
like that, well, with that said, with the lack of coverage that this type of hip hop gets from a lot of the bloggers, right? Because I guess it's easier to interview trap artists because you can and drill artists because you can ask them about crimes that they was doing and this kind of shit. Like, they hardly ever ask about the music. But like, what are your thoughts on how a lot of media right now is not focused on, or is only focused on one type of hip hop?
Man, I really want to go sit down with a lot of these people, especially locally, and have this conversation. You know what I'm saying? Sure. I think even more so, even though they leaning on a certain artist of a certain crowd, what they really only focused on is mess.
Right.
And they just measure a bunch of messy men asking a bunch of messy questions.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
They're looking for the reaction and the clickbait. They trying to go viral, because it's a hustle. They're not documenting hip hop culture like an actual journalist because they love hip hop music and hip hop culture. And they're not journalists. That's the problem. Bloggers place the journalists, but they have zero journalistic integrity. You know what I'm saying? And they're approaching the game through a journalist lens, and it's done watered everything down because they basically, excuse me, like, they all gossip blogs. What it is, you know what I'm saying? But now in the trap era, they stirring shit up to be, causing and instigating real conflict.
Yeah, you saw the BTB Savage thing?
Yeah.
That's crazy, right? Like, days after the interview.
How you sleep at night knowing that your platform is involved in something like that?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You making mess what you want to make money off of. Like,
right.
Gotta stop at some point.
It does. It definitely. And one of the tracks on the new album, like, it sounded like an outro where somebody, it's one of the ones you got a video for. It sounds like an outro where somebody kind of mentioned that, right?
Yeah. Now it is after those last songs the last 3 songs is actually bonus. It's the first 8, 3 is bonus. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
But somebody mentioned that on the joint.
Nah, yeah, that's the brother A. Rashid.
Oh yeah, for sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Peace.
yeah.
I've been studying him for years. You know, way before I ever even heard of Griselda.
Mm-hmm.
I was on A. Rashid from studying the elders and people like Phil Valentine and Bobby Hemmett. You know what I'm saying? That whole circle. You feel me? So, um, yeah. I mean, he said it clear as day.
Right.
The
Right.
street nigga is trying to get some money out of your pocket and trying
Mm-hmm.
to the cemetery.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, why is
Yep.
we so much emphasis and attention on the street when I've been trying to preach to people about being appreciative of the opportunities that you have?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we got all this technology at our hands now. We got access to all of this information. And this is the time where y'all want to glorify the streets the most. Like make it
Right.
you know
That's but look, G, I was scrolling through YouTube today and it hit my feed a cat from Europe somewhere made like a 3.5 hour documentary on King Von being
oh, the serial killer thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's like, yo, man, the more
Or Ross.
yeah,
If you engage with that, which is because I did it because I stumbled across him making one about the Mo 3 and Yellow Bees in
yeah,
Trap
that's
Boy,
the one I watched too.
which blew my mind. See, but
Mm-hmm.
you know how algorithm shit work.
Mm-hmm.
It's a whole community of bloggers from all the way over there that they whole shit is built up off of the death and trauma in the hip hop scene in America. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? It is
Wow.
that shit mind blowing to me.
Yeah, it is, man. Yeah, we eventually we have to take it upon ourselves to first not give them shit to talk about, but secondly be mindful of where we place our energy. You know what I'm saying? And but what kind of does it? What does it say about the fans, right? That the these type of, and I'm not knocking anybody, right? This is not a diss to anybody as far as fans that watch that kind of stuff like on a personal level. But I feel like it says something about the mind state when of the person watching it when that is the majority of the type of thing that you choose to consume. You know what I'm saying?
That's the society that we in. We know that as far as consumers go, on the majority of the audience for hip hop music is young, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So we talking about people who was raised up in an era where all of their video games is based off of violence and murder.
Right, right.
But they've been playing in the house their whole life. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? And then they want to go outside and that's what they want to emulate. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the imagery has been presented to them through different mediums. It's all that same energy. So that's what they own, unfortunately. And I think it's also we only seeing what we heard more so of in the 90s and 2000s is just amplified now.
Right.
It's those are those people, babies. And then I be telling people we dealing with the grandchildren of the crack babies right now. Think
Mm-hmm.
about it.
With social media added to the mix.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, that's a bad combination, man.
what do you expect? This is a social experiment gone wrong. Now I don't want
Facts.
to lose sight from where the black community was going before crack cocaine fell out the sky. Don't you can't make me believe it was some young genius chemist
Right.
in a with crack cocaine. Stop
Nah,
it.
hell no. You already know that's warfare right there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so the truth of the matter is that's the problem. And then honestly, those of us who have enough knowledge of self or whatever to steer our own people
Mm-hmm.
in the proper direction, we're too busy arguing amongst ourselves over ideology.
Facts. That's what I told myself too, man. Because I got caught up in it sometimes, and I was like, yo, man, you sometimes, you gotta relax. Just because it's better to come with, you know, get to the point where you can come to an understanding with your brother. Now, unless somebody is out here pushing harmful shit on purpose, you know what I'm saying? Then you check it. But you're right, man. You know, a lot of the culture, like even in, because you know, you're in both spaces, the hip hop space and the conscious community. The damn conscious community starts acting like battle rappers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's the same.
It's facts. It's the same thing, G. You know what I'm saying? They got that same energy. But you know, earlier we spoke about your father's legacy.
Yeah,
But you know, you're carving out your own.
for sure.
And what do you want your legacy to be in this game, man? You know what I'm saying? Like when it's all said and done.
I mean, my whole mission and reason why I named the album Big Baby Thanos, it really felt like a new start for me. You know what I'm saying? It felt my first album all over again. And it's all about balance. Everything in this existence is based off of polarities. You know what I'm saying? We all should be well balanced in everything. Hip hop needs to be rebalanced. You know what I'm saying? That was Thanos' whole mission, was to restore balance to their universe. And my mission is to restore balance to the hip hop universe. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt, no doubt. And speaking of restoring balance, you know, on the you are you know, a practitioner of EFI, and like, so how does your, you know, way of life affect your making music process? You know what I'm saying? Like, as we see in the intro, you know, you let people in a little bit. So do you think you'll be doing a little bit more of that coming, you know, moving forward?
Yeah, because it ain't even that wasn't intentional, as in me saying I'm gonna bring you into my world. Right. Once again, that was just me being honest. This is what I do. These are the spirits that I go to for assistance with my music creation and career. You know, and so it would only behoove me to show reverence at the beginning of my project. It's what I'm doing in real life. You know what I'm saying? On a weekly basis. That's just what that is. You feel me? And EFI in totality has brought me extremely closer to my true self and more comfortable with who I am, which makes it easier to express musically. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
You know, like every time I build with you, man, like, and I'm not saying that it doesn't happen, but you got a level of peace about you. You know what I'm saying? Like where you just like, it's like it's whatever. You know what I'm saying? Not that you. It's not even a thing where it's not like a passive energy, but it's an energy where it's like I'm at peace. I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm in my lane. You know what I'm saying? Does that come from your spirituality?
No, 1,000,000%. You know, and I even I was talking to a couple priests the other day. I was on a phone call with 3 priests in 3 different levels, because within E5 it's all it's a seniority thing. You feel me? And not your age, but your initiation ranks you. You feel me? So I'm the only one that's on the phone that's not a priest in this lifetime yet. You dig what I'm saying? And one of the young Iwos, he was like, man, Rakim, man, you talking like you 60 years old, man. They be calling me a Baba, and I'm not a Baba yet or whatever. But I just, through studying and practicing and implementing these things in my life, I just realized how much actually matters, like what matters and what doesn't. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of things that we worry and stress about are truly irrelevant.
Irrelevant, bro. Irrelevant.
Anything in control outside of myself is irrelevant, and then it also brought me a higher level of understanding. You did. If we go back to the infighting within the conscious community, right? When I walk past the Hebrew Israelite and he called me weak, you know what I'm saying? When I turn around to approach him, I understand that he's projecting.
Right.
I understand that he just came across some information that made him proud to be black and made him proud.
Right.
know what I'm saying? It made him proud
It's
of me.
not something that you're taking personal.
Yeah, it ain't got nothing to do with me.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of walking up and engaging with the energy, I changed his energy. You know what I'm saying? I told him, hey, when I stood at that table 2 weeks ago, my brother, I never disrespected you, right? So just because we don't agree, it don't mean that you got to disrespect me, bro. You feel what I'm saying? Peace and love. And I said, may peace be upon you when I walked off. You know what I'm saying? He was like, right, you right, bro. My bad, bro. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It ain't like that, bro, because I could care less about what you think you know. I know that we all are at different points on different paths.
Facts.
You don't get there when it's time for you to get there.
Right.
Me, spiritually, I'm an old ass nigga, bro. So I can't expect everybody to be at
where
the
you
level.
at.
That's insane. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And if I'm truthfully that, I should be able to understand you when I encounter you, though. You know what I'm saying? I get it, and it ain't.
That's a great point. Like, so that's the difference from a lot of times, we can, read all these books and begin to know something, but whenever you put what you know into practice, right, that's when you begin to see the results. Did you kind of go through a stage where, like, did it all of a sudden one day, did it just kind of click for you? Was it a gradual process or
It was gradual, but I will say somehow I naturally knew when to stop studying the past, I will say. Or even certain, I got one of my homies who, this nigga is a walking encyclopedia. But he hasn't fully figured out how to apply all of those things to life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I be him, when I first told him it sounded crazy to him, I was like, nigga, you know too much. That's your problem. You know what I'm saying? So you in your head all day about what you know and what you studied. But what if you stop and really sat with and then reapply to life?
Right.
I'm the type of person that'll read the same book 4 or 5 times.
Right.
They'll read one book and then they on to the next book. But if you know it, you ain't really mastered that yet.
No, not at all.
Every time you grow, when you look at that, you're gonna see something you missed.
Facts.
First time you
like you see it with different eyes, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? So I just, and with me right now, bro, it's all about your application and your demonstration, bro. I don't want to hear what you know.
Right.
You know?
Right.
I could, unless me personally, I have a general knowledge of our history as melanated people on the planet. Within Ifa, there's an old dude called a Warren Meji, right? They call that the reversed head. I just told them last week, I said, I guarantee you, if a Baba threw the chain and asked, what is the Odu for the Black collective conscious community in America, it's gonna fall on Warren Meji. The reverse head. They stuck looking backwards, right? When they should operating under the Rosun and trying to push forward. But niggas too busy looking back. For me, my mind trapped in the future, and I'm worried about the babies.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Why is we so worried about the history and we got babies?
Right.
We need to be focused on the present and the future.
Facts. That's the whole idea of Sankofa. When you look back, you're supposed to be getting what you need, and then you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But you're right. Like, man, that's deep. I've often personally been critical of a lot of albums that have a lack of soul, man, that I'm noticing in a lot of recent projects from different artists. And when I mean soul, I mean, sometimes you get the feeling that some cats is just kind of rapping to be rapping. They could be great rappers though. I'm not saying that, like, they could be like extremely dope, but just putting dope shit together to be putting dope shit together, which does have its time and place. But the soul, in my opinion, is what the listener is going to resonate with. Like from 10 years from now, right? You know what I'm saying? There's albums that I thought were lyrical 10 years ago that I go back and listen, and I'm like, nah, that, like,
disrespect. I listened to Joel Santana. I was like,
yeah, it's not the same, bro.
For the crap.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But with Big Baby Thanos, you captured that soul, that ability, obviously to be lyrical, but to that soul music, man. Soul music to me ain't just singing. Like hip hop got soul music too. Like was that something that was intentional? Like was that part of the the being introspective, or how did that go?
I'm really like you, like bro. I be trying to tell. I'm gonna excuse me. I'm gonna actually do breakdowns of these records because I be trying to tell certain.
All right, we back. What was you saying, G?
Yeah, I be trying to. When I be having conversations with MCs and they be wanting to, especially locally, niggas love to tell me they better than me and shit. You know what I'm saying? And they for one, they don't even really be talking about the technicality of it. But I be trying to explain to them that you didn't even say nothing.
Right.
What did you say? What is the message? Where are you pulling from within? Like what are you offering to the people? What's the value of what you actually saying? You know what I'm saying? My shit, you can put this shit down on paper and really get some game and learn from that. You know what I'm saying? I'm giving you a genuine expression and I'm showcasing skill. That's the hardest thing to do.
Right.
Lauryn Hill so high on my MC list because of the subject matter that she showcased, the subject matter that she spoke on while showcasing that skill.
Right.
The same, we go to somebody like the Jizza.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? On top of the technical skill, listen to the way he talking. It's not easy to rhyme like that, talking about that, and make that shit sound fly. Just
right. Right. That shit, yeah. Yeah, it's like I said, and so when you don't, a lot of cats just come off sounding like they just rapping and be rapping, stringing words together.
That's it. Just rhyming.
Yep. What Big Baby Thanos, you kind of alluded to it before. Where does the title come from?
I just resonated with that character when I seen the movie, and I was salty that they killed him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think they're bringing him back from what I hear, but
they got to. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause he wasn't really a bad guy, and I could relate to that in different scenarios in my life of people trying to paint me in a way, and that's not what it was. It's not what my intentions was. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And like I said, I seen him as somebody who was just trying to restore balance to the universe. And I know that's my responsibility to our hip hop universe. You know what I'm saying? I'm fully aware that hip hop is the mythos of the future.
Right.
You know? And so I always create with that perspective in mind. You know what I'm saying? 1,000 years from now, how would they view this thing? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And trying to make sure that it doesn't go extinct due to a lack of balance.
What as far as that balance goes, what do you think? Because I have my own ideas, but what do you think, from your opinion, that what is the imbalance?
The imbalance is, I think it stems from a lack of honesty. The majority of us who come from where we come from, we played in the street, of course. We don't know too many niggas that actually kill people. Let's just keep it up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We don't know too many.
Everybody was a kingpin.
Yeah, we don't. I was just why we don't know too many niggas. You know, if you touch $250,000 in the streets, you are a legend.
Right.
And today, talking about legend.
Right.
You know, like that shit don't happen like that. You know what I'm saying? Ain't too many niggas that would even know how to shoot a gun with their eyes open.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you can tell the truth and I know you experience other emotions. I know it's that you be sad about. I know it's a girl that you really love.
Right.
And I know you probably got some childhood trauma that you got to learn how to deal with and grow from as a man. You could touch on that. You know what I'm saying? Like, just be honest and speak about all of the emotions that you experience in your day-to-day life.
Right. Because I think a lot of MCs don't realize that's what's going to make the fans love you. You know what I'm saying? Like, although Pac had bars, I think people love Pac because he made him feel something. You know what I'm saying?
That's why he the greatest. If you
Right.
get to why he's the most loved and revered. You know what I'm saying? And man, I'm glad you said Pac. You can, as a writer, you're supposed to tell other people's stories too.
Right. And he does that. Yeah.
You know
Nas
what I'm
does that.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, you got to tell other people's stories too. Become their voice. It ain't just about you. It ain't about you all the time. Become their voice and speak for them. Speak for that young woman. You know what I'm saying? Who got raped by an older man or who
Right.
got picked by an older man. You know what I'm saying? You can lend a voice to everybody in your community. That's your job. I always love and respect one of my older homies from back in the day because he told me that when I called myself wanting to play in the streets and be like him, he was like, "Nah, bro, he told me you the reporter. You supposed to watch and speak on all this.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Everybody's story, nigga. That's what you're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying?
That's deep. That's
Yeah.
deep, man. And you know what? It's funny you said that because I'll often call Nas, well, he's called that by a lot. He's called a, street poet, right? Whether some of the stories he tells were his life or other people's life, his brothers, people that was in the neighborhood, he was watching. You know what I'm saying? He was out there, but he was watching. And I when I hear your music, that's what I get. Like even before you said that, like somebody who's able to report um not only the things that go on in his own life, but the things that being a voice for the community. With that said, like being that voice for the community, um, does that come with any added pressure?
I mean, it has more so recently, you know. Um, I think some people who have caught on to me as a recent, they have a misconception and expect me to be like some super serious guru guy all the time. Not reality. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right, right, right.
We all love to have fun. I have an insane sense of humor. You know what I'm saying? Like regular person. I'm very much for and about my community, and I'm up in my community work this year and moving forward. You know what I'm saying? We about to get very heavily involved in the community here. So we with that, but you know what I'm saying? Don't be too serious, bro, because we
Right.
still living and enjoying this life and this human experience that we have. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, most definitely, man. You've been highly sought after as far as your music and features and interviews, and the buzz continues to grow, man. I'll Google your name and I see interviews everywhere, write-ups and newspapers everywhere, man. What does it feel like to get the love and to see that like the buzz is continuously growing? You know what I'm saying? Like it's not standing still.
It's a blessing, man. It's really fuel to the fire. You know, I got the pedal to the floor right now. Like we not, like I said, it feel like a fresh beginning, and we not taking no breaks, no time soon. You know what I'm saying? We coming with music every quarter, whether that's a full length project, whether that's an EP, whether it's 2 songs. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
we feeding the people every quarter moving forward. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah, man. That's dope. That's dope. Hip hop, I would say, in a lot of cases, compared to 80s and 90s, right, is a lot of people would say that it's oversaturated. Regardless to whether if that is true or not, there is a shitload of rappers. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Yeah. What makes Rakim Al Jabbar stand out? Because clearly you do, but what is it that makes you stand out?
man, I think it's the as far as the music, it's the honesty. You know what I'm saying? It's rare in today's time. And then at this point, man, I've been rhyming for 20 years, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm talking about I've been recording rhymes for basically 20 years now.
Wow.
So as far as any 10,000 I have, we don't need hours. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I done put into this and continue to put into this. So my skill set my acumen is just at a God tier level because I put that work in. You know what I'm saying? Too, 85% of these niggas is rapping over their lyrics at the live show.
Right.
I get on stage 300 and whatever pounds at whatever time of the year and bust niggas ass with no track.
Yeah. Because I've seen you multiple times, man. And the first time I didn't know who you was. I was like, damn, who is this dude? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think it was at a Mortal Technique show. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You put on a great show, man. How I know COVID stopped a lot of people's shows for a minute. Now that you're getting back performing and everything, man. How important is it for indie artists to get out there and perform at these live shows, man? Because I see a lot of people sometimes I see this debate online with indie artists, who a lot of them say that shows ain't really that important.
They need to show me where they get money from then, because ain't no money in those streams.
Right.
Your catalog, unless you done caught on to what's going on, your catalog is not that extensive for you to be generating enough income. And a live show is the quickest and easiest and cheapest way to grow your fan base.
Right.
Then even, let's say you catch a hit, if you ain't already earned your stripes on that stage, it's gonna be ugly for you when you get out to people, and now you learn it on the job.
I've seen, I ain't gonna name no names, but I've seen recently this happened to somebody who had one song and kind of blew up, and they got on stage like at these festivals and they just look like a fish out of water.
Because it's different. My first time in front of 5,000 people was opening for Wu-Tang in Dallas at the factory and coming out the side of the stage. And that was the first time I had been nervous in years. That's when I realized me performing at home didn't matter no more, because the crowd erupted like I was somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
This is 5,000 people.
That's a lot of people, man. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
People, it's like, oh shit. You feel me? If you ain't never did that, and then anybody who really know, hey, it's way harder when it's only 5 people. And they staring dead at you.
Right.
Doing them.
Right. But whenever you, how was that though, man? How was that feeling? With opening up for Wu-Tang and such a big show and the crowd going crazy for you.
Man, shout out to the homie Stone Mecca, because he put me on his set and he took me on the road. I did all 4 Texas dates with him.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so that was a dope experience to see just how they move, how that whole system operates. You know what I'm saying? How you get treated when you make it to that level. I never seen no shit like that. I gotta go get my own food before and after my show.
Right.
You rolling with Wu-Tang, they got the whole kitchen. They in there cooking 5-course meals. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. They got their riders. You know what I'm saying? So RZA got all vegan treats for his. You know what I'm saying? So got really this liquor, and, you know what I'm saying, all that, and just go from city to city. And we was doing after parties too. You know what I'm saying? So to just see the love that they would get on stage, how many people were still coming out to see them 25 years later, then seeing them rock the after party and interact with their fans. You know what I'm saying? And just seeing how you put together a show of that magnitude with a stage that big and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I learned so much from that experience, and I learned so much for Stone, period, because Stone Mecca is their musical director, right? He in the tour that they on right now. Like, they just came back from Brazil and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He's the one who groomed my performance. You know what I'm saying? The one who took me up and gave me the game and helped me correct the errors that I was making. You know what I'm saying? I'm forever for that.
Oh man, that's dope. That's dope. Another thing that's popping for a lot of indie artists is selling CDs, cassettes, and vinyls, man. Like what you think about the resurgence in that?
It's a beautiful thing, man. You know what I'm saying? We need that album sale. We need that physical sale, bro. These streams, it ain't generating no real money.
Right.
You know, how many streams does it take to get to $10 that I could just get from a person on the street with a CD? So like,
yeah, facts,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And me, I never not sold CDs, and I always thought I was a big deal. So like my first album, it's only 8 autographed copies, right?
Mm-hmm.
I sold 5 of them. I mean, I got 3 left, but that cost $100. You know what I'm saying? Got a private Firebird that's only available on my website. You know what I'm saying? When I first dropped that CD, it was $22. You know, and that was the only way you could get it. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
See, that's
like,
dope, man. Because I saw Mac Homie do the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like, especially like if it's a limited, you know, like, hey man, you know, that's as far as especially with collectors, you know what I'm saying? To have something somebody else ain't got, that's the name of the game, right?
That's what we're doing right now. We're finna do 50 exclusive autograph vinyl copies of Big Baby Thanos. They $50 a piece, but you get into the show, and for the show price is actually 60. But you're gonna get a vinyl, you're gonna get into the show. I'm gonna autograph the vinyl, and I'm probably gonna just throw in a t-shirt just because.
Man, see, oh man, that's dope. That's dope, bro. Once again, congrats on the album, man. I love the album.
Thank you.
El Dallas is one of my favorites too. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Trill Dallas coming later this year, baby. We right.
For sure, man. That's what I was going to ask you, man. What's next, man? Yeah, I know you're gonna.
I'm dropping Oscar Topping June 21st. I'm in the studio working on that right now. I plan to drop Trill Dallas in September, and then we'll end the year off in December with I don't know where I'm gonna go. If I'm gonna go Thunderstone or Ghetto Priest, you know what I'm saying? I got shit.
Yeah.
Don't work. You know what I'm saying?
See, that's you know, that for the fans, man, that's a great thing to hear, man. So, you know, we blessing us like this for the rest of the year, and you've always been somebody that stayed consistent, man. And each album I feel like gets better and better and better, man. That's not something that a lot of people can say, you know what I mean?
So I
And
only focus on myself and compete with myself, bro. That's what I'm doing.
yeah, no doubt, man. So let everybody know where they can find the music. Not because everything's on Apple, Spotify.
Nah, go to
but that's what I was gonna say.
www.rakimaljabbaar.com.
Right.
You can get music there that ain't nowhere else. Starting probably next week, it's gonna be videos there that ain't nowhere else yet. All exclusive content will be released through the website, merch, CDs that you can buy. You know what I'm saying? I got Il Dallas tapes on there. You know what I'm saying? The hoodie, the Pharmacy Big Al Son hoodie I got on right now is on there. You know what I'm saying? So just subscribe to that website, man. Stay tapped in.
Yeah, because and like I had a brother Kofi Pasa come on a couple weeks ago, and you know he just wrote a book, and he was like, "Yo, man, we don't really get shit from the Amazon. Buy it from me directly from my website." And so I'm telling everybody, yo, support. Go to RakimAlJabbaar.com.
Yes, sir.
Get the music, watch the videos, get the hard copies. Them shit's gonna be worth something someday, man. I'm telling you.
Buy you two. You can bump one and put the other one up, man. Be smart.
You know what I mean? But Rakim, you already know, man. You know, anytime, you know what I'm saying, we get a chance to build and connect is always a pleasure, bro. I'm definitely glad you came through, man. And you know, it's the third of many, you know what I'm saying? Like we've been doing this for a minute, man. So, but you're always welcome. You're a friend of the show, my partner outside of the show, man. Again, I salute you, man. And we're gonna keep it going.
Thanks for having me.
No doubt, God.
All right, peace.
Peace.